Charlie Kirk obliterates a leftist college student who insists that university education is the only way, and not only the only way, but the best way to go career-wise. Guys, this is gonna be a lot of fun. I have to say, this hits a little bit close to home. I myself went to college and I deeply regret it, so now I just sit around and cry about it all day, miserably. I'm kidding, I don't do that. But I do regret it. I have a lot of things to say about it, namely that it essentially infantilizes our young Americans and continues to keep them as kids, and that all while selling them this false bill of goods and promises only to let them down. And I can rant about it all night, so I won't get too much into it. So we're gonna get right into the video, but first, everybody, please do me a huge favor. Like our video, share it around, and if you're new, subscribe to the Resistance Mainstream YouTube channel so we can keep bringing you guys this great content. As always, everybody, I'm your host, Darian. Let's get into the video.
You said that economics was not the best thing to study in your opinion. Like,
Correct.
when I put my hand up, the question I wanted to ask was like, what do you actually think the best thing to study is?
Well,
the best
I mean,
reason to come to college.
Again, if you're going to a super left-wing college and you're trying to just get the piece of paper and credential, I mean, you should go at what the college is, if it's known for, if it's best at. And so I don't know what UW is known for or what it's best at. But I mean, computer science, right? I would imagine the Paul Allen School, is that right? Or am I correct? This is up top of my head. Is that right? It's right here, right? Yeah, so, but yeah, those fields in particular, but sociology or the life sciences or soft social sciences typically do not have as much of an ROI on the time or the money spent.
And so you
economics is in the middle ground there.
And so you said that you would defund colleges, state colleges on a national level.
Yes.
And so basically that would mean that there are no subsidies going out to students, like in-state students or anything like that.
I mean, you don't get to determine what the states do, but yes, federally, all federal grants should end completely, yes.
Okay.
Make these institutions survive on their own. If they're so wonderful and they're so great, then make it work.
Can you imagine if, let's say, student loan debt, for instance, was treated the same way all other debts are, right? As I'm sure most of you here know, you can essentially declare bankruptcy and get out of paying debt if it gets bad enough. You cannot do that with student loans. It is, as far as I know, the only type of loan where this is possible. Just imagine if we allowed that. We allowed people to declare bankruptcy and made the colleges actually have to be accountable for what they're doing and the scam they're running. I really think that'd make a difference.
Make your numbers work.
And so then what is the difference between a state college and a privately owned college?
Well, so UW gets subsidized in-state tuition here, right?
Yeah.
So if you go to
that's why I'm paying only
for
10,
sure.
12,000 a year.
For sure, but
right?
you're paying it back in tax.
Only $10,000 or $12,000 a year. We'll talk about that more in a second. It is crazy that somebody says that as if it's cheap. That's wild to me. And you know what else is crazy to me? This economy that Joe Biden just doesn't seem to want to fix. Guys, this inflation is out of control. I feel like every time I go to the gas pump, the grocery store, I end up spending all my life savings. It's insane. And that is why I have decided to invest in precious metals, and I think you should too. So check it out, guys. We partnered with Goldco. It's a great company. You can go to rtmgold.com. You can click the link in the description, type in your web browser. There are a lot of perks with Goldco, okay? For one, you can roll over your IRA and 401k penalty and tax-free. Sounds like a good deal to me. What else? You can also get a free gold kit. Yes, free gold kit to help you make this decision, because we understand it's a big one and we want you to be informed. So check it out, guys. Go to rtmgold.com. They will give you the white glove treatment. You can click that link in the description or go type in your web browser, rtmgold.com.
Only
no, for
10,
sure.
12,000
No,
a year,
for sure.
right?
But you're paying it back in taxes, let's be clear, right? So taxes make that possible. And your parents or you paid that in for 18
That's
years,
fine, yeah.
so you get that back. But a private school, I don't know, is there University of Seattle? Is that a thing? Or,
Yes.
I mean, okay, which I'm guessing is private.
Seattle U, yeah.
Okay, that they do not get money from Olympia to subsidize the tuition. So they have to stand on their own 2 feet.
Right.
So they have higher tuition.
Yeah.
And they have to justify to donors how they're doing every single year.
Yeah.
But they still might get some federal money. Does that make sense?
Yes. And you're saying this on the grounds of required like diversity credits and
No, I just think,
like
I mean, look around. Has college enriched our society? The young people are the most depressed. They're the most anxious, the most alcohol addicted, drug addicted, least married, most angry generation in American history.
Is that all due to college?
Where does it come from, though? I mean, they're the most college-educated, most credentialed generation in history. Where do these ideas come from?
I would argue that they come from the fact that there are too many people and not enough jobs. And to stand out of the crowd, to stand out of the masses, you need to get yourself some credentials.
I totally agree. So you want to stand out? Don't go to college.
Then you're not going to get hired.
Worked for me.
Worked for you.
Precisely. Believe it or not, there are ways to succeed without going to college. And also to this kid's point about how, well, you need college to succeed. How about the fact that they're putting him in $50,000 in debt, give or take, and he thinks that's cheap and somehow a good deal? Can we pause for a second and ponder about how sick that is? He said earlier in this video, 10 or 12K a year, yeah, I'm getting a cheap deal. Really? 12 times 4, okay, 48,000 plus interest. That's easily 50,000 in debt, probably more. And that's a good deal? How sick have we become as a society where people look at that and say, yeah, that's a good deal. A house shouldn't even cost that much, but here we are with houses costing, I don't know, like $1 million for a decent house at this point in a lot of the country. I get it. Some places it's cheaper, but you go to any major metro area, they're super expensive. It's insane. When's the last time you've seen a 3-bedroom house for less than $500,000? Unless you're living in a really rural place that hasn't been hit yet, probably it's been a while. All that to say, yes, it is a scam. And we know it's a scam when somebody who's probably gonna get 50,000 in debt says, yeah, I'm getting a deal. What?
Start your own business. By the way, that's not true. Half of employers no longer require a college degree requirement.
Well, okay, I'm talking about more specialized jobs.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
As far as trades go, okay, that makes sense.
11 million job openings for trades.
Yeah, you're using your muscles to get your daily wage.
Well,
right?
it's not just muscles though. Like for advanced engineering is not easy. That's not just picking up lumber and putting on one side of the warehouse. That's very specific. And by the way, you can learn to code in 8 weeks and earn 100 grand a year.
You can.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you don't need to go to University of Washington.
The thing is though that you are not going to get hired over somebody that has graduated from UW with a computer science degree.
You've been sold a lie. You've been surprised. You'd be really surprised. Employers less and less likely actually want to hire kids from college because they work the least, they're the most entitled, and they're quickest to run to HR about problems and mispronouncing people. You'd be surprised. No, it's true for like the big firms like Microsoft, Amazon, Starbucks. Like they obviously want you to have a college degree.
Yeah.
But mid-major companies, mid-level companies increasingly don't care. They care about can you do the job? Like, do you have any sort of skill? Are you going to work really hard? Do you have good character?
That makes sense for like startups and such.
Yeah,
yes.
for sure.
However,
and here's the thing. Just sorry to interrupt, but after like 5 years, nobody cares where you went to college. Just so we're clear. Sorry to interrupt, but yeah.
Yeah, all good. I mean,
we just have a disagreement here. My whole point is to try to push the boundaries of discussion to make you guys open your eyes and realize you guys are getting ripped off by the institution here. And that's it. So
yeah, so I do not believe that I'm getting ripped off because in my field, it is very important, especially with how oversaturated it is right now. I'm studying CS. Computer science, yes.
There's tons of jobs in computer, but I mean, there might not be though. I mean,
there aren't. That's the point.
AI might take all your jobs.
So he admits it. He's paying a ton of money, going to a lot of debt for a job that might not even be there. And it's really bad right now. If you look at these statistics, in a lot of cases, you have top students at top university computer science programs who are having trouble getting an offer anywhere. The top student, all right? Think about the mid-level student or low-level student. They're screwed. It's not a joke.
Jobs away sometime soon, by the way.
To stand out, the whole point is that here and elsewhere around the country, we're doing a bunch of research on how computer scientists and like engineers in general are still going to be useful with the rise of AI. Elsewhere, you don't learn stuff like that. You learn the basics of programming. You've maybe heard about like the Harvard 8-week course, right? That you were probably talking about just a second ago.
One of many.
However, when you actually do take that course, you don't get a lot of the reasoning skills, a lot of the practical application skills, and a lot of the things that I'm learning every day in my classes. And so the fact that you can learn it in 8 weeks and get a job because you have the qualifications, it's true maybe, but in the market that we have right now, where the job market is super oversaturated, there are a ton of people getting computer science degrees.
Yep.
These employers, most of the like high-level ones that are going to pay you a lot of money, are not looking for somebody who has the base level qualifications. They're looking for more than that. And one more thing is that to get these jobs coming straight out of college, even with a degree in computer science from UW, which UW is known for computer science, you are going to have years and years of internship and job experience in most cases. Otherwise, you're going to be doing the base level.
Fair enough.
Right? Years of experience needed. So doesn't that suggest that rather than going to college at 18 where you will not get an internship, nor will you get work experience, you just go into the workforce and start working? Wow, there's a crazy idea, and one that, frankly, I wish I tried myself back when I was 18, but oh well, it is what it is.
Right?
So we just have a difference of a worldview. I say, why not graduate from high school, learn to code, and go beg for an internship and bypass the college thing completely? You'd be amazed at how willing people are to help with that. Again, you guys have been largely sold a lie that you need to march through this place for 4 years and check the boxes and get the piece of paper, and it's been dangled in front of you. I'm here to tell you, and I'm only 10 years older than you, that the world doesn't really care you went to college. They care when you come out of college as your first job. Once you're in the door, it really is rather irrelevant. But we disagree. So
okay, that's fine.
Is college a scam? Yes? No? Maybe it's a little bit more nuanced? Let us know in the comments, guys. I want to hear your thoughts. I'm really curious. And aside from that, let us know what kind of content you want to see in the future. Thank you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate it, and God bless.